African countries have always been interesting economic case studies. They vary from the poorest countries in the world, riddled with corruption and inequality, and lands of opportunity with growth in the double digits. Kenya can be considered in the latter half since the beginning of the 21st century. So, in today's video, we are going to look at Kenya's achievements over the past decade, its key challenges, and where it is headed. And also, you can catch up on other case studies by clicking on the playlist that will show up at the end of the video. Kenya's economic growth. Kenya's economic growth picked up pace in the 21st century, going from 12.7 billion in 2000 to 100 billion in 2019. This can be attributed to increased agricultural exports like flour exports to Europe, for example. Increased government expenditure has also given a significant boost to the Kenyan economy. This increase in government expenditure is due to the reforms of Mwai Kibaki, establishing the National Debt Management Department, reforming the Kenya Revenue Authority, and other reforms have increased the government's income, which have gone into infrastructure projects. He also reformed the financial sector. During this period and even after his presidency, foreign investment increased dramatically. Key challenges. Kenyan cities have a major housing crisis, with over 61% of Kenyans in cities living in slums. This has been one of the clauses in the Vision 2030 project of Kenya that it is falling behind on. In this blueprint, the government aims for the provision of 200,000 houses a year. However, currently the number hovers around 50,000 a year. And with an urbanization rate of 4.4%, over 500,000 new city dwellers are added every year. The need for good, affordable housing is necessary for Kenya's economy to prosper. According to the World Bank, one of the ways Kenya can achieve this is to improve mortgage access to people. Currently, mortgage debt represents 3.15% of GDP. This is extremely low. The World Bank says this is due to banks lacking access to long-term funding, therefore they are unable to fund enough mortgages. Improving access to financial institutions for the people and access to funding for banks will not only help the housing crisis but will also increase foreign investment and boost the economy overall. Kenya also has to deal with inequality. With a Gini coefficient of 48.5 out of 100, it is one of the most unequal countries in the world. For context, 0.1% of Kenyans, or 8,300 people, have more wealth than 44.4 million people, or 99.9% of the population. And as I always say, a bit of inequality is good. It encourages competition. But such extreme levels results in not only less consumer purchasing power, but also an increase in crime, which makes foreign investors nervous and can result in capital flight, or in other words, can result in the 8,300 people leaving Kenya along with their wealth. This has already started happening in South Africa, the most unequal nation in the world, and the hopes are that Kenya doesn't turn into another South Africa. Kenya during Corona and in the future. Kenya's economy fell by 5.7% in the second quarter. However, its recovery has been quicker than expected by most economists, causing analysts to change Kenya's economic forecast to 1.5% from -1% for 2020. The economy did not do as bad in the first quarter because the first case came to Kenya in mid-March. However, after this, due to a decrease in international trade and a global shutdown of tourism, Kenya's major foreign income earners like tourism and export of flowers, tea and vegetables decreased significantly. One of the major exports of Kenya is vegetables to the EU and the UK. This decreased by 35% in the second quarter due to the lockdown. Also, tourism decreased by 99.5%, education by 56%, and taxes on products went down by 14%. Kenya has set an ambitious goal through Vision 2030. However, before Corona, Kenya's economy did underperform expectations. This was due to agricultural output underperforming and the private sector investing less. This was not much concern since it underperformed by only 0.5% and could be temporary. However, the government should take a look at its economic policies and make sure this does not happen again. Overall, inflation is stable at around 5%, foreign investment has increased during COVID, and Kenya will most probably be the most promising economy in East Africa for decades to come. Check out the playlist on the right to watch more case studies and click the button in the middle to subscribe.